Okay, good day, ladies. Welcome to Philosophy Online Lecture. Today we'll be talking on value inquiry, and we'll be looking at some aspect under this. We'll be looking at the concept of value. We'll be looking at morals and ethics. Now, value is what forms our sense of morality, and when we say it is what forms our sense of morality, they are the principles at which we look at things uh, that are fundamental to us. And when I say things that are fundamental to us, I mean those things that we take or with relevance to us as individuals and also as a member of a society. Values are those fundamentals that we regard most. Now, values are also the standard and ideals to evaluate actions, to evaluate people, to evaluate things or situations. And when we say this, we mean values are used to measure things if they actually meet up to standard or they go below standard. For example, if the idea of twin child in the Igbo society is regarded as a very bad one, we are going to evaluate this. Is this actually bad? Is or it is actually right? But to the Igbos, they do not value twin child. That is back then or now. So values as standard at which we evaluate action, we evaluate people, things, situations, the world view of people. Now there are various values, example of values that people endorse, like honesty, like decency, like survivor, like the livelihood, and so on. Those are some of the values that people endorse. And also we should note that value help us to determine those things that are actually right and those things that are actually wrong. Now, uh, under value, we have three types of value. We have the personal value, and then personal values are those things that we regard to be fundamental to us personally as individual. For example, I might be someone who value family, that is, I value my family enough, and someone else might not value the family but value his work over family. So that is personal value. Now we also have moral value. Now moral values are those things that we attribute to being right or wrong. And yeah, there are also morals that we use to evaluate social institutions too. Like for example, what is right in the political sense, what is right in the economic sense, and so on. So those are moral under as a type of value. Now we also have the aesthetic value, in which we use to judge what is actually beautiful or not, or what is actually as we use it to judge tastes too. We use it to judge arts and literatures too. So those are aesthetic values. And okay, so those are the three major type of value. Now it is important for us to emphasize on the part of evaluation, that value help us evaluate and measure standard of things if they actually meet up to a a recognized one, an acceptable one. Now, and that is that on what values are. Now, we also have secondly morals. Now, morals are those values that we attribute to system of beliefs. Now there are those things that we see to be good or bad in every belief system. Now, it also has to do with our actions too, and the morals are not determined personally but by the society. Now, it is our values, those things that we see as fundamental, that influence our sense of morality. Now, for example, when I said the twin child was not a thing of value to the Igbo community back then, now they had to do was to kill the twin child or send them to the evil forest. And anyone who does not do this is seen as doing what is bad and what is wrong. So it is those our values that influence what our sense of morality. Now, it should also be noted that our morals differ in terms of is not universal in the sense that what could be of morally right to we as Nigerians could be morally wrong to those in other country. And in for every moral we always cite an authority. That is, we said that moral is not decided personally but by an authority. Now, we do not always mention is that I am doing this because of it is accepted, but the fact that we are not citing the authority of those moral does not diminish the power of those moral authority. Okay, so and that is that on morals. Now we also have ethics. Now, ethics is a branch of philosophy that deals with the morality of human conduct. Now, we shouldn't confuse ethics with moral. Morals has to do with what are right and what are wrong, actions, thoughts, beliefs. Now, ethics is now that branch of philosophy that judges, that gives a critical look into what we consider to be right and what we consider to be wrong. Now, since morals has to do with individuals in the society and how they relate with each other, ethics, which as a branch of philosophy which look into the ideas that we live by, is now concerned with those general rules governing relationship between people in the society. Okay, so that is the what ethics is. And on ethics we have the work of various philosophers on ethics. We have the works of various philosophers on ethics. We have Aristotle idea of on ethics. We have Epicurean idea or Epicurus idea on ethics. We have Thomas Hobbes. To Thomas Hobbes, ethics implies those moral principles that has to do with us living in peace and unity, like he stated in the laws of nature, that all we are after is just to get peace, and that is why we come in together with people to ensure we live in peace and unity. Now, ethics also entails promoting mutual welfare through upholding the principles of right and wrong. Now, when we study the principles of morality, it helps us to know what we have to uphold, to hold in high regard, as regards what is right and what is wrong. And through this, we have social and mutual cooperation, and then there will be results in terms of refereeism to us as individuals in the society. Now, ethics also do what? It protect and foster values such as the human life, values such as justice, values such as freedom, values such as development in the society. Now, in a society where the wildlife are of importance to the people, are of value to the people, it is the principle of ethics that we help us to do what? To make sure that there are rules that are set down in order to make sure that those wildlife are being what? Protected, and then there is continuity. So that is an example of how ethics help us to protect and foster values. And for example, also in terms of fundamental human rights, when there are laws governing people in order to ensure that everyone's right is respected, it is ethics that help us to do what, to make sure that these things are protected and then they are promoted also. So those are on value, on morals and ethics. Thank you very much for listening through. In the next video, we'll be talking about some scholars, for example, Friedrich Nietzsche. We'll be talking also about Karl Marx, and we'll be talking about Aristotle too, on the ethics and justice too. Thank you so much for listening.